Have you ever imagined yourself riding barrels in a rodeo or even roping cattle? First, you'll need to learn how to saddle that bucking bronco. I have had quite a love for horses since I can remember, and my main goal today will be to teach you how to properly saddle your horse, and we will cover some of the main grooming, how to clean the hooves, some of the boots your horse can wear, how to tack your horse properly, and even how to give your horse a bath. Before we saddle the horse, we first need to make sure that there is nothing that might rub on the saddle and cause discomfort for the horse. We will start off by brushing the horse to make sure that there is no dry mud on the horse's back. After we brush the horse, we then want to make sure that there are no rocks or anything underneath the hooves. We take the pick to get all the dirt and to check the hoof over. This horse recently had his hooves done. After that, we move to getting the boots on. There are two types of boots you can choose from. The first that I am showing is called a bell boot. The purpose of this boot is to prevent the horse from overreaching with its back legs and harming the front hooves. I then show you a boot which is called a leg boot. This is to protect and support the delicate bones of the horse's legs. After we make sure that all the proper grooming is done, we then move into tacking the horse up. Before we put the saddle on, we lay down a blanket, and this prevents the saddle from rubbing on the horse's back. After the blanket is straight on the back, you then move to the saddle. After the saddle is on, go around and make sure that all parts are flush with the horse's body. The main concern is the horse's comfort throughout this whole demonstration.
Your peppermints is the truth. I'm pessimistic on Monday. If I had tweaked and missed you, you look so good with the hat on, had to match with the shoes. Came in dressed in the satin, I came and sat in your pew. I come to Christmas for dinner, 50 rolls on my plate. Hella holes in my stocking, holding your pockets in place. I like my love with the.
You then take the front cinch. Before tightening, make sure to let your horse take a breath, and as they are breathing out, you pull it tight. You then pull it through once, around, and then through again. After the third time around, make sure to tuck the excess underneath to prevent spooking your horse. This prevents the saddle from moving.
I've been waiting for you for the whole week. I've been praying for you, you're my Sunday king. You got to move slowly, taking in my body like it's holy. I've been waiting for you for this whole week. I've been praying for you, you're my Sunday.
After you have finished with the saddle, you then move to the bridle. If you have a horse who doesn't stand well when being saddled, then you can leave the halter and lead rope on, but in this case Ace stands relatively well, so I will be removing the halter, except today he wasn't willing to stand very well at first. You first take the bridle, holding the bit with one hand, and check the bridle over, making sure that everything is how it is supposed to be. You then show the horse the bridle so they know what they are going to do. Then take the bridle with your free hand, pulling it with enough tension, while then pushing the bit to the horse's lips. Take a finger and push it in the back of the horse's mouth. Don't worry, there's a gap there that doesn't have any teeth. All in one quick motion, pull the bit to the back of the horse's mouth, pulling both ears through the crown so they're between the crown and the bro band. Your horse is now tacked and ready to go for a ride. Sometimes after long rides when it's hot out, I like to treat my horse to a nice cool bath. First, you want to make sure to slowly spray the horse's feet so they aren't taken by surprise by the temperature of the water. Slowly start moving up the horse's body, eventually soaking the whole horse, avoiding the head. After a hot ride, the main reason for a bath is to cool the horse. Therefore, I only use conditioner rather than both shampoo and conditioner. Make sure to get the spots where the saddle was to avoid any sweat stains left on the horse. After the horse is clean, make sure to rinse the body very well. Leaving any soap can cause the skin to itch. After releasing your horse to the pasture, don't be surprised if they start to roll. Try to avoid dirt of any sort and release them in mostly grass. Today, my main goal was to teach you how to properly and safely saddle your horse. First, make sure your horse is clean of any dirt or debris. Second, check the hooves and make sure that there is nothing that can cause any pain. After you make sure that your horse is groomed, you can then add boots if necessary. Then move to the saddling, which first you put on the blanket and then the saddle, making sure that it is fastened very tightly. You then move to the bridle, gently slipping it over your horse's head and fastening it not too tight to cause any pain. Then, after you have gone for a ride, you can choose to bathe your horse if you wish. So now let's go gather that bucking bronco and go chase some cows.